Right now, Canada is the canary in the coal mine for America. So y'all better be paying close attention.
Today, our national freeze on handguns is coming into force. From today forward, it is no longer legal to buy, sell, or transfer a handgun in Canada.
For years now, I've argued that there's no such thing as common sense gun measures, and that every time you hear that phrase or some form of it from a politician, it means that they want to ban all the guns. Same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden just said that he's gonna get the so-called assault weapon ban passed. And there are so many people who are like, oh, well, that's not too bad. Who needs AR-15s anyway? All you really need is a handgun, fools. It's not just gonna stop with AR-15s. There's always going to be more, and Canada just proved it. First, they started with the so-called assault weapons in 2020.
We are closing the market for military-grade assault weapons in Canada. We are banning 1,500 models and variants of these firearms by way of regulations.
Then 2 years later, they are now banning handguns. I'm sure there are a lot of people right now saying, oh, well, that's Canada. That could never happen here. Are you slow, dumb, or stupid? We just had an assault weapon ban in America that lasted from 1994 to 2004. That was only 18 years ago. And the only reason we don't still have one now is because the Republicans got lucky and were able to put in a sunset clause in the bill that would require the law to expire after 10 years if they could show that the ban didn't work. You really think the Democrats will make the same mistake again in their new assault weapon bill that they're trying to pass now? There's no sunset provision in the new assault weapon ban bill. They even made more restrictions than there were in the last bill. Yes, we have a Second Amendment here in the United States that they don't have in Canada, which makes it more difficult to unilaterally pass laws that ban guns outright. But look around you. Look at the up-and-coming generation. Most of these kids don't even know what the Second Amendment is, much less can tell you what it says.
A well-regulated militia.
Mr. Trump, Congress, the Senate, and all elected
being necessary to the
security of the people's rights.
being necessary to the security of a free state.
Of the free state, and the rights to bear arms should not be infringed.
The right of the people to keep and bear
arms shall not be infringed. God, man, you really had to walk me through that. In my defense, I looked this up at 3 in the morning just to get the wording right.
And even if they do know what the Second Amendment is and says, they simply don't care.
You know, Texas is big on guns. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't really care about guns, to be honest. So, it doesn't really affect me.
So if the governor decides no more guns in Texas, Beto decides that you'd be all for it?
I mean, yeah.
Constitutional rights are only as strong as the next generation that's willing to fight to protect them. And over the last decade or more, our mainstream media has done a phenomenal job literally brainwashing people into essentially hating the Second Amendment. This isn't me being a conspiracy theorist. This has literally been said by people in our government that's exactly what needs to happen.
I've also asked the school board to make a part of every day some kind of anti-violence, anti-gun message. Every day, every school, at every level. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
People have got to stop being naive. What's happening in Canada right now can and will happen in the US as long as people remain complacent about protecting their Second Amendment rights. Stop thinking all these people trying to pass these 2A laws are dumb. They are not. They understand how most people think on a fundamental level. They know that most people inherently resist big changes, but are more keen to accept a bunch of smaller changes over a period of time. They're not going to come right out and say, we need to ban guns in America, like they essentially just did in Canada. They're going to slow drip it because they have to change the culture first, then sell the change. Their agenda right now is to ban the AR-15. So they have to make it seem like all of these killings are happening with AR-15s, when in reality, the AR-15 is used the least. Once they get the AR-15s, the handguns then become easy because they actually do make up the vast majority of the guns used in shootings. But by then, the memory of the banning of the AR-15s will be a distant memory, and as a result, they can use the exact same strategy to ban the handguns. At this point, seeing how Canada did exactly what I just said, anyone who still believes these politicians when they say that they only want reasonable gun laws is simply a moron, because the anti-gun playbook is literally staring you in the face. And yes, AR-15s are protected by the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It didn't say only handguns, it said arms. Oh, and also, I got this beautiful Let's Go Brandon patch hat, of course. Got these in all the different designs as well. So head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com and get your patch hat today. But also for all my Canadian brothers and sisters out there who have to deal with this mess, we also have a Let's Keep Canada tactical design as well. So if you're from Canada, or you just want to let Joe Biden know how you feel about him, or if you just live the pew-pew life and you want to keep America tactical, head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com. I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.